Welcome to the CRE Marketing Hub podcast. Today, we're diving into mastering content creation with ChatGPT, a powerful guide by Ross Jones that shows commercial real estate brokers how to transform their marketing, property descriptions, client communications, market analyses, social media, and more. Stick around to discover key tips and learn how to get even more tools at cremarketinghub.com. Let's jump in.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into how commercial real estate brokers are using AI, specifically ChatGPT, to completely change their game.
Yeah, it's pretty wild what's happening.
So our guide for this deep dive is the book Mastering Content Creation with ChatGPT by Ross Jones. He's been called the godfather of digital marketing for CRE.
I've heard that.
And he's helped agents generate, get this, over $1 billion in leads using these strategies.
It's amazing. And what's interesting is this isn't just some far-off thing. This is stuff brokers can use right now to get ahead.
So to be clear, we're not talking about robots replacing real estate agents.
Yeah, no, not at all. This is about giving brokers more power with AI. Think of it like having a super assistant, one that can research clients, write marketing stuff, and even analyze all that complex market data.
So how does this work in practice? I mean, can you give me an example?
Sure. Say you're working with an investor who's really into sustainable properties.
Okay, yeah.
You could use ChatGPT to make a report on the latest sustainable building trends, then write up listings that highlight all those eco-friendly features.
So instead of spending hours researching and writing, you can have ChatGPT do that part.
Exactly. And you can even send really personalized emails to clients showing how these properties match what they care about.
Wow, that's amazing. I can already see how this could save so much time.
Yeah, and it's not just about saving time, it's about making better content. Let's say you're stuck trying to write a really good property description. ChatGPT can come up with a bunch of options, pointing out all the best selling points, and even adding a little storytelling to make the property more memorable.
Wait, storytelling in a property description?
Yeah. Think about it. Instead of just listing, square footage and stuff, ChatGPT can paint a picture. It can help potential buyers actually imagine being in that space.
That's way more engaging than just a boring list of features.
Exactly. And ChatGPT can make the description sound perfect for the type of buyer you're targeting. So, it could write a description for a downtown office that would really appeal to tech companies, for example.
So it's like having a whole team of writers ready to go. But what about those big time-consuming tasks, like market analysis?
Well, that's another area where ChatGPT can be a game changer. Instead of digging through mountains of data, you can have it summarize the key trends, make charts and graphs, and even write parts of your market reports.
So it's like having a research assistant and a marketing expert all in one.
Yep. It's about working smarter, not harder.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. But can ChatGPT really help brokers close more deals?
Absolutely. By doing all those routine tasks, personalizing the marketing, and giving you data-driven insights, it frees you up to actually focus on building relationships with clients.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not about replacing humans. It's more like making those human interactions even better.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to get on board with this stuff early. The brokers who master these tools now are going to have a huge advantage.
All right, I'm sold. So let's look at some specific examples of how ChatGPT can be used. Let's start with crafting, really amazing content. What are some tips?
Sure. One thing that a lot of brokers struggle with is writing good property descriptions.
Yeah, I can see that.
Jones has some great examples in his book of prompts that you can use with ChatGPT to make those descriptions really pop.
Like what?
Well, one is create an engaging property description for a 15,000 square foot commercial office space in downtown Manhattan, featuring all the state-of-the-art facilities, eco-friendly design, and close to transportation. But the key is adding the tone should be professional, but appeal to tech companies.
Oh, I see. So you're giving it all those specifics to make it really targeted.
Exactly.
What about for market analysis? I imagine that could be really useful.
Absolutely. Say you're doing a report on the downtown office market. You can give ChatGPT all the relevant data and ask it to, for example, draft an executive summary highlighting the increase in occupancy rates and the factors contributing to that trend.
That would save so much time, and it could help you pick out things you might have missed.
Exactly. ChatGPT can spot patterns in the data that we might not even notice, and that can be super valuable when you're advising clients.
Okay, this is amazing. So ChatGPT can help you write great content, analyze market data, and even find insights you might have missed.
Yep, it's all about working smarter, not harder.
Okay, let's switch gears for a second and talk about social media. Every CRE broker needs a good online presence, but it's hard to stand out.
That's true. But that's where ChatGPT comes in. It can help you come up with creative post ideas, write good captions, and even, suggest visuals.
Oh, interesting. Can you give me an example of how a broker could use it for social media?
Okay, let's say you just got a great new listing in downtown Boston. You can give ChatGPT a prompt like, draft an engaging LinkedIn post announcing this new commercial property, highlighting the eco-friendly features and its proximity to public transportation.
And ChatGPT would just write the post for you.
Yep, ready to go. It saves you a ton of time. And it can help you make content that's more likely to get attention and get you leads.
That's so cool. But what about all those other tasks that brokers have to do, like email, scheduling, making presentations? Can ChatGPT help with those too?
Oh, definitely. Jones has a whole chapter in his book about automating your workflow with ChatGPT. He actually gives a step-by-step guide on how to automate property listings.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Tell me how that works.
Okay, so picture this. You've got this system that automatically takes all the key property details from your database, like square footage, location, all that stuff, and it feeds that right into ChatGPT, along with some custom prompts.
So ChatGPT is basically getting a full rundown on each property.
Exactly. And based on that, ChatGPT writes a complete property description that's ready to be posted on your website, social media, everywhere.
So instead of having to make each listing by hand, ChatGPT can just do it automatically.
Exactly. It's super efficient and frees you up to focus on, more important tasks.
This is incredible. But is it realistic to think every broker can do this?
That's a good question. And I think it's fair to talk about, the learning curve.
Yeah, because some brokers might feel a little intimidated by all this tech stuff.
I get it. But the good news is that these AI tools are getting easier to use all the time. And there are so many resources to help you get started, including Jones's website. It's full of helpful tips and tutorials.
That's good to know. So you don't need to be a computer whiz to use ChatGPT.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do everything at once. You can start with simple things like those property descriptions or social media posts, and then add more as you get more comfortable.
That makes sense. So instead of being scared of AI, we should see it as something that can help us do amazing things in commercial real estate.
Exactly. It's such an exciting time to be a broker, and AI is just going to make things even more interesting.
I completely agree. But before we go too far, let's take a closer look at some of the more advanced ways to use ChatGPT.
Sounds good. In the next part, we'll explore how you can use it to automate entire workflows, predict market trends, and even create virtual property tours.
Wow, I can't wait to hear about that. But first, we'll take a quick break and be right back.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before the break, we were talking about how ChatGPT can help brokers with things like, writing property descriptions and creating social media posts.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious about how it could be used for those more, complex parts of the business.
Right.
Like market analysis and workflow automation. You bet. ChatGPT can definitely handle those bigger tasks. So let's start with workflow automation. Ross Jones actually gives a really great example in his book of how brokers can use it to streamline the whole process of creating property listings.
Okay, tell me more. I'm all ears.
So imagine this, right? You've got a system that automatically pulls all the key details from your database.
Okay.
Things like square footage, location, amenities, all that. And it feeds it right into ChatGPT.
Okay.
Along with specific prompts that are tailored to your needs.
So it's like ChatGPT is getting a full briefing on each property.
Exactly. And then based on that info and those prompts, ChatGPT writes a complete property description, totally polished, ready to be posted everywhere.
So instead of manually creating each listing, which can take forever, brokers can automate that whole thing.
That's the idea. It's a huge time saver, and it lets brokers focus on, the stuff that really matters, like building those relationships with clients and analyzing market trends.
Okay, I'm seeing the light here. So let's talk about market analysis for a sec. I mean, it's so important, but gathering all that data and actually making sense of it,
It's a lot.
it's a lot. How can ChatGPT help with that?
Oh man, it's a game changer. So say you're working on a report for the downtown office market. Instead of spending hours and hours going through spreadsheets and pulling data, you can just feed all that info right into ChatGPT.
So you're giving ChatGPT like a crash course on the market.
Yep. And then you can give it specific instructions. For example, you can say, okay, identify the top 3 factors contributing to the recent increase in occupancy rates. Or create a chart showing the average rental rates for Class A office space over the past 5 years.
And it would just like do it. That's amazing.
It is. And it's not just about showing the data. ChatGPT can actually help you figure it out, interpret it. You could ask it to explain the potential impact of rising interest rates on the commercial real estate market, or even predict the future demand for flexible office space.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying ChatGPT can actually predict the future?
Well, sort of. It's trained on so much data that it can spot patterns and make predictions based on, what's happened in the past and what's going on now.
That's mind-blowing. It's like having a crystal ball for real estate.
It's not quite a crystal ball, but it can definitely give you some really valuable insights into where things are headed, and that can help you give better advice to your clients and make smarter decisions.
Okay, you've officially convinced me that ChatGPT is a game changer. But what about the future? What other innovations are coming down the pipeline?
That's a great question. The AI world is constantly moving, and there are some really cool things on the horizon. One area that's super exciting is virtual and augmented reality.
Oh, wow. Virtual reality for real estate. I've heard whispers about that.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Imagine, taking clients on virtual tours of buildings that haven't even been built yet, or letting them customize the finishes and layouts in real time using augmented reality.
That's incredible. It would save so much time and money on physical mock-ups and staging. Plus, clients would get a much more immersive experience, really see themselves in the space.
Exactly. And it's not just for new construction. VR and AR can also change how we show existing properties.
Mm-hmm.
Think about having virtual open houses that anyone can attend no matter where they are, or providing interactive floor plans so people can really visualize themselves in this space.
It's like we're stepping into the future of real estate. But with all this amazing technology, do you think there are any potential downsides we should be thinking about? Are there any challenges we need to be aware of?
That's a really important question. The potential benefits are huge, but it's definitely crucial to approach this stuff with, a balanced perspective. One thing we need to be really careful about is data privacy and security.
That makes sense. I mean, there's so much sensitive information in real estate.
For sure. As we start relying more and more on these AI systems, it's super important to make sure they're secure and that our clients' data is protected. We also have to be aware of the potential for bias in AI algorithms.
Can you explain what you mean by bias in this context?
Yeah, so AI algorithms are trained on tons and tons of data, right?
Right.
And if that data reflects existing biases in the real estate market, those biases can actually be amplified by the AI system.
Oh, I see.
So, for example, if the historical data shows that certain neighborhoods have always been undervalued, the AI might, accidentally recommend against investing in those areas, even if there are actually great opportunities there.
So we need to make sure that AI is used in a way that's fair and doesn't perpetuate any existing inequality.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us to make sure AI is used responsibly and ethically in the real estate world.
I couldn't agree more. So given all of that, what advice would you give to brokers who are excited to start using AI in their business?
I'd say start by learning about the different AI tools that are out there and how they can be applied to your specific needs. There are so many resources online, including Ross Jones's website. It's a goldmine of info on ChatGPT and other AI tools for real estate.
That's great advice. And I bet there are also some good courses and workshops out there for brokers who want to, really dive into the technical side of AI.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Lots of universities and professional organizations are offering programs on AI and how it's being used in real estate.
Okay.
And don't underestimate the power of networking. Connect with other brokers who are already using AI and see what they've learned.
That's such a good point. It's all about building that community, sharing knowledge, and supporting each other. But I'm wondering, what about those brokers who might be feeling a little hesitant, maybe even intimidated by the idea of using AI? What would you say to them?
I totally get that. AI can seem really overwhelming at first, but you don't have to become an expert overnight. Start small, experiment, don't be afraid to ask questions. The key is to be open to learning new things.
I love that. It's all about seeing the potential, seeing AI as an opportunity, not a threat.
Exactly. The future of commercial real estate is being shaped by technology, and AI is leading the charge. The brokers who embrace that change are going to be the ones who really thrive.
That's so inspiring. So instead of fearing AI, we should see it as this powerful tool that can help us achieve amazing things.
For sure. AI has the potential to make our industry so much more efficient and innovative, which is ultimately going to benefit everyone involved.
Well said. But before we wrap up, I want to touch on one more thing that Jones really emphasizes in his book, continuous learning and innovation.
That's so important. It's not enough to just keep up with the latest trends anymore.
Right.
We need to be constantly pushing ourselves to learn new things, experiment, and come up with creative solutions.
I completely agree. So for our listeners, what are some practical steps they can take to really cultivate that mindset of continuous learning?
Well, one of the best things you can do is make learning a regular part of your routine. Set aside some time each week to read industry publications, listen to podcasts, watch webinars, take online courses, whatever works for you.
Great advice. It's all about making time for professional development.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. Go to conferences that focus on new technologies, connect with people from different fields, and just challenge yourself to think differently about your work.
I love that. It's all about broadening our horizons and opening ourselves up to new ideas. And with that in mind, let's move on to our final segment, where we'll explore some specific resources and tools that can help brokers stay ahead of the curve in the world of AI and commercial real estate.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been talking about AI and how it's changing the game in commercial real estate.
It really is.
So let's talk about some specific resources and tools that brokers can use to, really stay ahead of the curve. Where should they start? Well, I think one of the best places is actually Ross Jones's website, commercialrealestatemarketing.com. He has a ton of info on using ChatGPT and other AI tools.
Yeah.
For everything from those property descriptions to market analysis and more.
That's great. I know a lot of our listeners are probably thinking, okay, where do I go to learn more? So that's a good starting point.
Right.
Are there any other websites or platforms that you'd recommend?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There are actually a lot of online communities and forums specifically for commercial real estate pros who are, interested in AI.
Okay.
Those are great places to connect with other brokers, share ideas, and learn from each other's experiences.
That's so valuable, having that community, right? And what about courses or workshops? I bet there are some good ones out there for people who want to get more into the technical side of AI.
Absolutely. A lot of universities and those professional organizations now offer programs that are specifically about AI and how it's being used in real estate.
Exactly.
So that's a good option too.
Okay, so we've got websites, online communities, formal education programs, anything else brokers should know about?
Yeah, there are also a bunch of software platforms and apps that are designed specifically to help brokers use AI.
Oh, interesting.
These can do things like automate tasks, provide insights from data, and just generally make your workflow smoother.
Can you give me an example of one of those tools?
Sure. There's this platform called CREmarketinghub.com.
Okay.
It's made just for commercial real estate brokers. And it has all these AI-powered tools for, things like creating marketing materials and managing your relationships with clients.
That sounds super helpful. So it seems like there are tons of resources out there for brokers who are ready to embrace AI, but it's important to remember that this technology is still rapidly evolving.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What advice would you give to brokers who are trying to, stay ahead of the game in such a fast-changing landscape?
I think the most important thing is to have that mindset of continuous learning and adaptation.
Okay, yeah.
Make it a habit to stay informed about the latest advancements in AI and how they can be used in real estate.
So it's not just about learning what's relevant today, but also anticipating what's coming next?
Exactly. Read industry publications, go to conferences, talk to people who are really at the forefront of AI.
Great advice. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
Don't be afraid of AI. It has so much potential to completely change the way we work in commercial real estate. It can make us more efficient, more effective, and honestly, more successful.
I completely agree. It's an exciting time to be in this industry, and I'm confident that AI is going to play a huge role in shaping the future of commercial real estate.
I think so too.
Well, a huge thank you to Ross Jones for his amazing work in this field, and to all of you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it helpful and, maybe even a little inspiring.
It was great being here.
And remember, if you want more info on how to use AI in your commercial real estate business, be sure to check out the resources we mentioned.
Yes. And connect with us on social media to share your own experiences with AI. We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring all the incredible things AI can do.
Thanks for tuning in to the CRE Marketing Hub podcast. To keep improving your CRE content game, grab Mastering Content Creation with ChatGPT and check out CREmarketinghub.com for exclusive AI tools and resources designed just for commercial real estate professionals. See you next time.